How's that sound going now? Can you guys hear me? Test, test, test. Can you hear me now? All right. Let's see. All right. I'm sorry. I had the mic muted and I forgot to unmute it. So, hope everybody's doing good tonight. We got a lot of unboxing to do. I've got stuff from Mystery Tackle Box. Beast Coast has sent me a little care package, and then a giant box from 6 Cents, which is some stuff that I ordered not long ago. And we'll see what all Casey and the gang has fixed me up with. I'm really excited about that. So, obviously, I've done a little change here to the aesthetics. You'll see, got all the companies that supports this channel over there on the right. Of course, my social media there. If you're not following my Instagram or Facebook, that's how you can get in touch with me. There is also a new super chat thing, so if anybody donates to the stream, it's going to pop up and say thank you, blah blah blah. I'm working on getting some custom audio for that and a custom graphic. But all those guys there on the right, Mr. Tacklebox, 6 Cents, Angler, Hog Farmer, Bass Mafia, those are companies I work with and have for a long time. And anytime you're looking for some stuff from these guys, make sure you look at the description on the bottom of my videos and click those links. There's a link to Mr. Tacklebox and Shop Carl's 6 Cents. As always, use the promo code Baitman. Angler, there's a link on there to download the Angler app, which is very awesome. I can't wait to see that. Thank you so much, Mike. Let me know if that super chat notification goes off. It should. If not, I apologize. I've been trying to let that thing get that thing to work. Lately, it hasn't. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, and Hog Farmer Bait Company. Scott, he's an awesome guy. Does a lot for me. Really takes care of me. What's up, Frank? I appreciate it, man. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more cool stuff going here. I'm still trying to get the kinks in this web streaming software worked out. So basically, I watch a lot of YouTube, see a lot of guys stream video games, all that stuff, and I see a lot of cool interactive stuff. I'm trying to bring that here to the live stream. Yes, Mike, we're going to release the new Baitman Box here at the end of the month. I've had two, so the one that's on the 6 Cents website now, I know it doesn't say, but it's kind of like the spawn, late pre-spawn box. It's got swim jigs in it, some jigs, shaky heads, all that. So, yeah, Hog Farmer makes an awesome net head. So, and then Bass Mafia, as always, you see behind me. Of course, I've got, the Cal Coast Battle Box. That's, they're great people too. I really like Cal Coast. But Bass Mafia, they take care of me quite a bit. And Bart and I, the owner, are very good friends. And Jeremy Starks there, Bass Mafia, has treated me like gold. I tell you what's up is I got to find my Mountain Dew. I had it just a minute ago. I don't have this guy right here. I might not make it tonight. So I'll go ahead and answer Hank's comment. How do you feel about Bass Mafia partnering up with the Googans? Honestly, I'm not a big time red fan, being as I'm an orange guy. I've always liked neon green, and you know what? I'll probably get me some green Mafia boxes just to have something different. The Googans, obviously, they partnered up with them, and I can tell you this: Bart at Bass Mafia is a great businessman, and he knows those boxes to sell. And at the end of the day, it's probably a good partnership both ways. Yeah, I've heard about the Monster Bass box. That's Alex Rudd and Ben Nowak's deal. The original guy from Lucky Tackle Box, they all kind of started that deal. It looks very interesting, so that's awesome. Mike Perez, I appreciate the support, man. I think this summer ledge box is going to be awesome, and you may see a preview of what's going to be in there tonight, because I got a giant unboxing from 6 Cents. So anyway, let's I shared this on Facebook or whatnot. We've got 85 people watching right now, so I think it's time for us to do a little bit of unboxing. So, yeah, Bass Mafia is in a lot of pieces. Yeah, thank you, Joe. So, if I was on my phone, let's see if I think I'm gonna give Joe Reynolds a little bit of love here. I wish I had a better way to do this. I want to start highlighting all the subscribers every Saturday night that have caught fish, especially guys that send me a message and say, hey, man, I caught some fish on this bait you recommend. I caught some fish with my baits out of the Baitman Box or anything like that. And I want to give them a little bit of highlight. But my buddy here, Joe Reynolds, sent me a message today, and I want y'all to see a Jaint. So Joe caught a Jaint. How about that? So he sends me a message and says, hey bud, I know these are not huge Jaints, but caught using something that you have taught on your page on YouTube, and love all the help. I appreciate that. One is 6.5 pounds, and one is 5 pounds, 5 ounces. All right, I'm going to show y'all Joe's Jaint right here on my phone. Look at this guy. That, my friends, is a true Jaint. So, Joe, I hope you don't mind me showing that off. But if you guys catch anything like that, be sure to send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll give you a shout out on here. Joe didn't say what bait, but man, that's a really good one. And he sent me another picture here. Obviously, you don't have to have a huge Vexus boat to catch fish. This is looks like it's out of a John boat, but you can take the tips, anything I show you or anybody does. Make sure you send me some photos, because maybe I'll figure out, I'll do a little slideshow before and after, and maybe you guys can vote on the biggest Jaint of the week or something like that. So, Joe, that's awesome. That's why I do this stuff. I'm not the best fisherman in the world. I kind of joked around with Brent Anderson the other day and said, someone else said, man, I did really good in the tournament using some stuff he told about. And that makes me feel really, really good. My problem is I'll get out there and my head starts spinning. I'm like, man, I know how to do this and this and this. They should do this. And I don't just fish. And usually when I sit down there and I get one or two technique and I just fish, I do well. Yeah, that's right. What's up, Richard Berry? So we're going to go get on with the unboxing. And as always, guys, like the video, share it. If you're new to the channel and you like the content tonight, hit the subscribe button. If not, no big deal. Come back another night. We'll do it again. But the first box I'm going to unbox, this is MTB Pro. Guys that watch the channel, you guys know what Mystery Tackle Box is. They help out. They send me boxes. I got to do a lot of videos for those guys. But we'll go through here, and I'll tell you if this box is worth it or not. First off, here's you some EWG 3/0. This is actually a lot wire hook, which is pretty cool. Obviously, must add good hooks. 3/0. You can use all kinds of creature baits, whatever you want on that. This is pretty kind of cool, I guess. This is a Weston swim. That's what it says. It's called the Floating Swim. Crazy bluegill. So this is kind of, let's take this out of the box real quick, because this kind of looks unique. This is different than the Weston glide bait that came in a few before. So this is kind of hollow, like a frog. Got these big frog hooks back there. Really cool bluegill color. So I'm guessing this is supposed to dart up near the surface, back and forth. Pretty unique. I don't know if I'd use that, but I could see the hookup being a little rough on this thing. Definitely unique. So that's new. I've never seen that before. I would definitely try it. Let's see what else here. Well, I'd like this. Obviously, this is an orange neck gator. And I'll tell you guys, I don't care what kind of company you're using. When I was young and dumb, I took my shirt off and all that, and that's great. But as I've got older, the importance of keeping yourself unexposed from the sun is really important. Skin cancer is a bad deal. Richard, yes, I did see the 50S and green sunfish. It's a good looking color. I'm pretty loaded up on 50S right now. So all this stuff, MTB, a sticker, I'll give my son. So they sent you some braided line in here, which is always nice. 15 pound, 100 yards of that. That's perfect for your little spinning rods, and if you want to load up on some Nico rigs, wacky rigs, use some fluorocarbon later. Feels pretty smooth, probably not a bad deal. Let's see here. So this is cool. I don't know if you guys remember the Game Changer jig, the Trash Master. Well, this is a new one. This is the mini Trash Master jig, mini skirt. So this is a really cool deal they've got. This is an exclusive to Shop Carls and Catch Co. I think they're on Tackle Warehouse too. But I really like that compact design. Like that head that's very similar to the old Ultimate Rattling jig. Monty McWilliams, my good buddy Monty. Monty, he owns Mallard Estates Outfitters. You see that at the beginning of the show. Probably going to be at the front of the show for the next couple weeks. If you duck hunt or know of anybody that duck hunts, get in touch with Monty over there at Mallard Estates Outfitters. Has a bang-up duck hunting operation, turkey hunting, does deer hunting too, and I'm just going to have to go hang out with him. Monty, if you're on here, do you mind showing the world your Jaint? I got to show you guys Monty's Jaint. It's huge, but there's that Trash Master jig. What makes this thing cool is this little screw lock right here on the back of this jig. You screw your trailer in on this screw lock, and then you've got a perfect weedless system. So that's really cool. I actually like that jig. Almost, you can get that on shopcarls.com. You can save a lot of money getting that. Dude, Flat 75X is an awesome bait. I think it's in the works. It's in the works. There's a lot of things going with 6 cents. Some I can and can't talk about. So this is a little Lunker City Osmo that's in your MTB this month. And that's a pretty cool looking creature bait. Pretty wild. Got some crazy looking legs here. A lot of people think Lunker City just makes terminal tackle. They do make some soft plastics. So that's pretty cool. And then the last thing is this Game Changer Lures Eliminator. So this kind of used to be a Strike King bait, believe it or not. Since Steve Parks has designed for both companies. Cool thing about this Eliminator, I've got a little experience with this lure, is it is great on top of the water, and you can rig it weedless. So this Eliminator right here, you can put your little 3/4/0 Texas rig hook, no weight. Swim this above the grass, around the bushes. It's awesome. You can actually use it as a spinnerbait trailer, but it's got a lot of good action with that curve. This is a pretty cool bait. Believe it or not, this one will catch them. There's a lot of guys that really like that Strike King version of this. So, pretty good box there from MTV. The coolest thing in there is definitely that Trash Master jig. I really like that. Hopefully, I can fish that some this week. I've got to get some time off. Every time I've had a chance to go fishing lately, it's weather's been awful, or if I've had to work. I'll rig that up later again. I'll put a little treble. I'll put a bait on the back of that. So, all right, I gotta show you guys this photo from Monty here. Look at this thing. Look at the eyes on this bass. This is Monty's Jaint. Again, look at that. Look at the eyes on that thing. I don't know what that weighed. Monty, I'm just going to guess that fish went north of 8 pounds pretty easy. But Monty, the Jaint man, check that guy out for some awesome duck hunting right there. and he's from the same town my parents were. So, you know, shout out to Halls, Tennessee. I have a feeling Monty may duck hunt some of the land some of my relatives used to own down there in Halls. So, let's see. I will answer a few questions. Would you ever consider joining the Guggen Squad? Hey, you pay me enough money, I'll join. I have no beef with them. I could probably teach them a few things, and they could probably teach me a few things. So, like I said, guys, if y'all got any photos, feel free to DM me on Instagram, Facebook, all that. I definitely want to show off all you guys' catches and everything. So, now Monty wouldn't tell me what he caught that on, so it must be a secret. What's your favorite Vision 110 color? That's a good question. Obviously, many people would say Table Rock Shad, but I've probably caught the most on a 10. It's a see-through Tennessee Shad or something like that. It's like a clear with a Pro Blue back and some flash. That one or Mega Bass Sexy Shad. I've caught the most on those two. And I don't know why. I've caught a lot, but those clearer colors seem to catch more for me. I just haven't got the chance to get the right watercolor for the Table Rock, but that's my two favorites right now. And then I got a special smallmouth bass one that's, I think it's not even out in the United States. That's one I like, I don't throw. So anyway, Mega Bass, every one of their colors is awesome. Do they still make that Strike King lime, white, and purple? Apple Shad, I believe they do. It's getting harder to find. That was an exclusive dealer color. I do not throw Smash Tech baits at all. I do have one up here that I'd like to throw. It's a little Smash Tech Gizzard in bluegill color. Oh yeah, the plus ones are good. I really like the Provoke from 6 Cents, and you guys have seen that. I would say my personal top jerk baits would be the Mega Bass 110, the 6 Cents Provoke, and believe it or not, I like the Lucky Craft Pointer 100 really, really well, and the Slender Pointer. Those are my favorites. Now, that's totally different than the video I did. Those are just jerk baits I think everybody should have. Obviously, you start getting a bunch of high-end jerk baits, you can get $500 in a jerkbait box real quick. But some of those $5 and $6 jerkbaits are really good. Why on a lake I fish will they not hit a 5-inch wacky worm but kill on a 4-inch? Is it because of the bait they're eating? That's a good question, Joe. And sometimes maybe there's a little bit different action in the 5-inch than the 4-inch bait, and they're keying in on that. Same reason sometimes they'll eat a 6-inch swim bait. You throw a 7-inch, you don't get a sniff. Bass are picky, but they're also, their brains are like this big, so maybe they don't have the functionality to decide they want something a little bit bigger sometimes. I do throw the old Pop-R P70. It's really nice. Frank, that's a good question. I really think Barkley is going to be a player this year. I think it already has been a player, and a lot of people are talking about it. It's been really good to me. So let's put this MTB box away because I got limited space here on the bait table. And let's get into this box here from Beast Coast Fishing. So if you don't know who Beast Coast is, they make all kinds of jigs. They have some awesome tungsten. They make some really good swim baits called the Creep. I got a Creep up here. I'll show you guys. If you watch Alex Rudd Fishing's channel. And I think Alex actually designed this color, which is called Pro Pearl. This is the Creep. It's a 6.5-inch swim bait. It's got a little belly slot right here. Rig it weedless with a 10-aught beast hook or 8-aught. Going to have a pretty good head shimmy to it. Whoa, camera focus. Very similar to the Babe, different material. Very good looking swim bait here. It's getting that time to throw these bad boys out deep. So that's the Creep. I've had that for a while from Beast Coast. I think you guys have seen it. And if you guys order from them, just say, hey, I was watching the Baitman. I don't have a link or special code. Let's see what they've sent me. I got a beanie. Let's see how hot I get in this thing. So now I've got a beanie. It's only like 90 degrees outside today. So maybe they're saying they want me to do a little Sylvester Stallone kind of stuff. Just get hot and nasty out there. No problem, Garden State Woodworks. Do you throw any bluegill swim baits in Tennessee? And if so, which ones? I just throw bluegill kind of colors. Mostly the Scottsboro line through. I've been throwing it quite a bit. But, you know, I think chartreuse and blue, chartreuse and purple, I throw a lot of swim baits. Those colors, they kind of imitate a bluegill. I used to use that Bass Tricks that was a bluegill color, but I stick to shad for the mine. Joe, they don't make one where you can change them out easily, unfortunately. The reason is Scott uses premium snaps and components on that. So, yes, it is a little hard to rig them up, but you're not ever going to have to worry about them breaking. Which is a good thing. That's the only thing I worry about on these guys that are making quick change A-rigs and stuff like that is the components holding up. With Hog Farmer stuff, man, I can hook my wife's truck up, SUV up to my truck, and I don't think I can pull it apart. So the babes haven't been back out. I think they're going to show up in the next week or two. I know Ryan Chandler. He fishes FLW. He pours them. He hasn't been home in a while. Hopefully he gets them poured up. So, got me a little Beast Coast sticker. I got a light that just went out here. Let me open my door so I can get some side light in, guys. Always something going on in the bait room. See what else they have sent me. An invoice. Another decal. Alright, so this is a tungsten jig. This is the Maxfield football. Yes, premium custom catch. My buddies over at Geared in Arkansas, they have them. Let me pull up their website real quick for you. Just a second. Just a second, guys. I'm gonna pull up this web page for you guys. So these guys are in Arkansas, and you call these guys right here. This is Pro Geared. You want to talk to Evan, and he should have some Mega Bass in stock. The reason I know is I just talked to him today, and they have got mag drafts in stock. They have, look at here, they got dark sleepers. They got all kinds of good stuff, and you can order from their website as well. But they're really, really good people. I've known Evan for a long time. There you go. There's just some mag drafts. 6 inches whiteback shad. Let's see if it's in. It says out of stock. Out of stock. There's rainbow nude and 8-inch. But I talked to him today, and they have the new freestyle mag draft in. Look at here. There's a 6-inch perch in, silver shad, whiteback shad. Oh yeah, they got them. That's the website you need to go to. They have mag drafts in now. Let them know I sent you, and tell Evan Barnes you were watching the Baitman, and he said, hey, this is where to get them. Hookup tackle is really good as well. I don't have any tater hog lures. I wish I did. So this is back to Beast Coast. This is the Maxfield tungsten football jig, and one reason I really wanted some of these is I like a little bit more compact jig with not a giant hook sometimes, and you feel so much more with tungsten. So this is a little green pumpkin magic crawl, and it's got tinsel in it. If you see that stuff sticking up, I really like that tinsel in my jigs. I've got a bunch of custom skirts. Baxter's Bug has that, but that's like basically a green pumpkin, magic craw, blue. You know they're gonna eat that. So, and the price on their jigs for tungsten is really, really nice. Here's another one. This is called Versace Craw. Let's look at Versace Craw. Sounds expensive, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I like this one. So a little bit stuff for some Clearwater. Basically a green pumpkin. Look at that gold in there. Oh yeah. I've got some jig trailers that work really, really good. Very sharp hook in these things. I like a light wire for deep water fishing. Some guys like a thicker hook and they work fine, but personally I like this smaller wire hook. You don't have to use a meat stick to get it in the fish. And when you're down there fishing 20 foot of water, that light wire penetrates so much better. That's just my opinion. Again, it's got that tinsel in there. Those skirts look awesome. So that's from Beast Coast. Sent me a couple of these football jigs. I think more and more guys are going to start going to the tungsten style jig. I know I am, just because at least around here these fish are getting deeper every year due to the zebra mussels, all that. No, it's not an extra wide weed guard. That's on the G-Spo Battle Flip. I wouldn't mind seeing that extra wide on a football jig. That'd be cool. But I'll be honest, I'm probably gonna cut the brush guard out in football jigs. They sent me some more jigs here. Oh yeah, they sent me some G-Spo Battle Flips, which you guys have seen that. Yes, you can use the creep on the ledge head, Dennis. Oh yeah. So this is the extra wide weed guard flipping jig. I don't think flipping's over here just yet, so I'm glad to get these. But very compact jig right here. It's got a stout hook, but that weed guard is double the width of a normal weed guard, and it's kind of perfect length. It's not too far, just enough over the tip of the hook. That color right there is called Toxic Bug. So it's basically a June bug and green pumpkin mix. Again, I like that tinsel. See how it really flares that skirt out? Really like that. Dude, I'm working on some Baitman apparel. I don't know what to do because I don't know how many people would want a shirt that said Baitman on it, because I don't know. You guys tell me. I'd like to get some Jaints hat. I've got the Jaints shirts. The link on that is in my description. But you guys, yeah, I think a Baitman Pro Staff shirt would be good. It says Baitman Pro Staff on the back. It says "Just kidding," or just a white shirt. I think I should just do a white shirt that says Derby Jersey, and that's all it says on it. But I really like the G-Spro Battle Flip. And then they sent me some in this Versace Craw as well. Again, this is an awesome little flipping jig. It's compact, the double wide weed guard, designed by Gerald Spohr, great friend of mine. And they do paint the head on that thing too. Man, I love that tinsel. See how it really just flares that skirt up a whole lot? Man, great jigs from Beast Coast Fishing. Look those guys up on Instagram or whatever. Again, thanks for the care package, guys. I appreciate you. And I'm going to try to put them to work. I've got to start updating my website really bad. I haven't updated in like 4 months. I had big plans and got busy with life, unfortunately. It sounds easy to do stuff like that. Baitman Pro Staff. I wish I knew what to add with that. So... here, I'll write the website down, Peter. Go here. Go to progear.com. Tell Evan Barnes or Cody Kemp over there. They're good guys. And say, hey, I was watching the Baitman show. He said, y'all got the mag drafts. Hook me up. And You know, I'll probably get Evan Barnes on here. He's actually does a lot of video on his own Facebook. He's a really good guy, a very good Christian man. I like Evan a lot. He's always reached out to me. Dude, that's a good idea. Baitman Pro Staff in the shape of a gent. Maybe we should put Baitman in all, you know, kind of like the Sons of Anarchy, where it says California Redwood Original. You know, Baitman should be, you know, no copycats here. That's a good idea. Yeah, I need just a logo. So, I'll tell you what, if someone designed me a sweet logo, I'd probably give them a free shirt or hat. I don't know. I could do it, but I had an idea. I really need to take the Batman logo and turn the bat into, you know, Batman's looking at the Batman logo in the sky. A guy looking at a crankbait up there and says, "Oh snap, it's Baitman." Thumbus, gotta hide that, buddy. We're gonna be PG up here. All right, so now it's time to unbox a big old box of 6 cents. Look at this box. This thing come on my doorstep. Obviously, these aren't shaky heads in here, so I'm going to sit this down in another chair. Thanks, Rattletrap. I appreciate that. Let me sit this box in the other chair. This is going to get wild. Oh, yeah. Hey, look at here. There's that mega bass I was telling you guys about. Looks like a little smallmouth. This is a pretty hard color to come about. A good friend of mine, Rick Bartz, he sent this to me. I don't know who Bob Knight is, but please do not spam the channel. Alright, so let's go here. Alright, first thing we got here. Got me a new hat from 6 cents. Look at this thing. This thing looks really, really good. I don't know who Thumbus is. I need someone to moderate my channel. I have no clue why these guys are on my channel. Holy cow. Didn't miss much, man. I'm trying to get a bunch of these freaking yahoos here off my channel. I really don't care. It's just that I'm trying to go through comments and I don't want to miss somebody's stuff because of a bunch of damn spam. And I really don't like banning people and stuff like that. I've always been anti-banning. So, alright, anyways. Jesus Christ. Obviously, this is somebody on the chat that thought they would play a little prank, and that's not cool. So, alright. So let's go through this 6 cents box. First thing we got here, this sweet 6 cents hat, and I think I'm gonna put this thing on because let's be honest, this little bean's a little hot. My hair's getting thin. So let's get back to the unboxing. This hat, that's sweet. I like that so much. Sorry guys about that. Everyone always thinks they're gonna be cool, gonna be funny, man, but unfortunately, things like that happen. So like this hat a lot. Then here's another one. A little blue hat, and yes, I will wear this one. Let's see how this one looks. This one looks good too. Looks good too. I think I'll rock the blue. You know, I might even keep the tag on, just like the cool kids do. But so I like this blue hat quite a bit, actually. And I think these are available on the 6 cents website. So that's right, Higdon. I do like this blue hat. So let's see what else I got. Guys, there's a ton of big crankbaits in here, because it is getting time to throw that big plug. Have not tried the G-Man jig out yet. There's not anywhere really locally here that carries them. So here's a bunch. I'm going to have a bunch of these. This is the Cloud 15. So so this is the 6 cents Cloud 15. This color right here is shad truce. A little chartreuse on the bottom. A very shad looking back to it. This bait is going to go about 15 to 16 foot deep on 10-pound test. It will definitely hit there. So I got several of these. Let's see what colors I got. There's that shad truce. Oh yeah. There's another shad truce C15. I might have went a little overboard on the C15 here. Joe, it's actually a quite a bit bigger than a 5XD. Matter of fact, I'll show you a comparison if you'll give me just a second here. Alright, this is one of my favorite colors from 6 cents in their deep plugs. This is Platinum Citrus, silverback, little powder blue. I wish the light wasn't so hot. That side light helps a lot, but that's Platinum Citrus right there. That's one of my favorite colors from them. It kind of actually is very similar to a shad, but it's got that chartreuse or citrus shad color as well. So I got me two of those. I'm fixing to get out of 5XD in just a second. The only problem I have is I can't ever get their baits back in the package very easily, which is a good thing, I guess. I'm just going to throw these in my Bass Mafia deep crank box once all said and done. But that I like the Cloud 15. That's probably one of my favorite crankbaits from them. As much as I like throwing a really big plug, that 15 gets it done in a lot of places. And like I said, I crank with 10-pound fluoro, and you can get it down just a little bit deeper. Well, yeah, Joe, shad spawn, I would throw anything that's got some blue or some white into it. Other color I got, you guys knew this was coming, is old blue true shad. That's your chartreuse, your powder blue, a staple here on the Tennessee River. This is probably the first color I pull out during this ledge season, is this one right here. When they decide to quit biting this one is when I'll go to that like Platinum Citrus, and then I'll go to a straight shad color. But I love the blue true shad. I'll put that one over there. And then someone asked me about bluegill colors. Well, here you go, guys. This one right here. And I won't throw bluegills in a lot of super deep divers. I do not throw a C15 on an 8-foot rod. That is overkill. So this is this color is custom bluegill. That's a great little bluegill color. Now I like this one when I'm going to get a little bit tricky. The brim have spawned and the brim are heading out deep. A lot of times we start getting those pecking bites, fishing those ledges. A lot of times it's red or bluegill. I like a bluegill color. I personally throw this on like a 7/6 moderate, medium heavy rod. It doesn't pull super hard. You don't need an 8-foot crankbait rod for a C15 or 5XD or nothing like that. This bait's heavy enough when you cast it. It goes a long way, so you don't have to have a super long rod to make up for that. I have not tried the 13 Fishing lipless crankbait. It looks cool. Man, I don't have any Mega Bass cranking rods. I'd really like to. Let me get a 5XD up here. Disaster is about to strike. I don't know if y'all have ever noticed this, but I got way too much stuff. So this is my Mafia cranking coffin. It's where I keep the big plugs. So I will show you the comparison between the Cloud 15 and a 5XD. And I love a 5XD. I love Strike King crankbaits. This is my last color right here. Yeah, Champion XP, I don't know if it's the best rod on the market. It's really good. Again, I don't get into those subjective, this is the best, that's the best, because what's the best for you may not be the best for somebody in there. Dobbins Champion XP is a heck of a rod at $249.99. But there's some really good stuff out there. That new 6-inch sensory rod is pretty badass. Those Douglas rods, yeah, those Douglas rods are legit too. So, and I'll be honest, it's hard to beat a G Loomis. I love G Loomis. So, all right, C15. This is Shad Sense. It's got some purple in it, very transparentish. Really like these ghosted colors when it gets a lot of pressure. But all right, here's a 5XD. This color is Moongill, and then here is a C15. Obviously the body quite a bit bigger. This is a bigger profile bait than the 5XD. So I can get a really big size profile that goes 15 feet, whereas the 5XD has a smaller profile. Now that color is Moongill. That is my Lake X killer. It does catch them on Kentucky Lake. This is more, I don't know if this is a 6XD, but size 6XD is probably, yeah, that's about right. 6XD and the C15 very similar in length. Now, obviously, if you look at the bills, the 6-inch has a wider bill, so it's going to have more. It's going to have more action like this. It will pull a little bit harder. 6XD is going to be tighter. Both are great crankbaits. I've caught a ton of fish on this guy right here. Just because I got 6-inch don't mean I'm not going to throw this plug right there. I love Strike King crankbaits. Spend a lot of money, but definitely putting these in my arsenal. And that's the C15. And you know, I'm going to be doing a great detailed video of how to select a crankbait for ledge fishing, and there's lots of good options out there. But appreciate 6 cents for hooking me up, because I'm going to need these baits for that video, and these things catch Jaints too. So put that one up. Put that 5XD back in its home. See what else we got. Now we got it to get into the Cloud 20s. Bush rat, it does look like an old Lucky Craft. I would say that's the best comparison is that Lucky Craft DRS 6.5, 5.5. And I don't even think Lucky Craft's making those anymore. And that's kind of the reason I want these, because I throw those and they're hard to get. Casey at 6 cents, and he can pump them out. Why are you calling me by my first name? I don't appreciate that, buddy. So, C20, Platinum Citrus, got me 2 of those. Now, the C20 is going to go deeper. Blue Truce, there's 1, 2, 3. Why'd I get 3? Because I know I'm probably going to hang one up. So, let's look at a size comparison on the 20 and the 15. We're getting a little bit bigger. Obviously, the bait's a little bit heavier. Let's see here. The C20 is going to go deeper. It's going to run about 22 feet, actually. So that kind of is in your 8XD range. There's that. C20 up top, C15 on the bottom. There's a good size comparison. It does look like the 20, the blue's a little bit brighter. I'm cool with that. So when I want to get really deep, I'm going to go with the 20. And they also make a 25, which I have as well. Very simple on my colors here. I'm going to stick to my chartreuse and blues for the most part, or some kind of variation. And they do put some, I don't know how well you can tell, but they put some grade A hooks on here and these split rings. And they got red eyes on. Not a lot of guys putting red eyes on crankbaits. A white belly. That's something I really like, is a white belly. Do the bills on the 6 cents hold up better than Strike Kings? Having problems with the bill splitting at the seam of strike? Yeah, they hold up really, really well. They are quite a bit thicker. Now, you're going to get the thicker bill is going to pull harder. I'm going to be honest with you. These aren't the super easiest cranking plugs on the market. Now, they don't pull as hard as like a DD22, but they're definitely going to see some resistance on these. Strike King 6XD is probably the second easiest plug I've ever casted. I actually think our Rapala DT16 pulls super easy. Oh yeah, those 500 DDs are really good. Let's see what other C20s I got here. You know, I had to have me some lavender shad right there. I love this color. I like my 6 cent square bill until it hit my boat and split in half. Unfortunately, it almost don't matter what kind of crankbait you got. You hit them against the side of your boat, something bad's going to happen. But that's that lavender shad, very close to that old Norman color. I like this because it has a white belly, but it's got a little chartreuse on it as well. Man, I wish that light wouldn't have gone bad. That really ticks me off. And then, let's see what else we got here. Ah, dang. These baits are not made to put back in the package, I can tell you that. Then we got Chartreuse Pro Blue. So we got a little bit brighter chartreuse, and we got a really deep royal blue back. I like this one quite a bit. When that water's got a little bit more color, that's just killer right there. So everyone's got the powder blue chartreuse, and it does work, but I like that back just a little bit better sometimes. I have thrown this color before, and I have crushed them on it, but on that one is Chartreuse Pro Blue. I know a lot of guys like that Chartreuse Sexy Shad. One thing cool about this one, see the eyes? It's like a solid black eye. They'd eat this thing on Pickwick right now if I could get out there. So we've got plenty of them. I'm going to have to get another Bass Mafia deep cranking box just for all these 6 cents. Matt, I use 10-pound fluorocarbon even on these 20-plus foot divers. Get more bites with it. I'm just going to be honest. It's scary throwing it, but if you check your line all the time, there's no reason. James, well, the whole body is different than the DD. Number 2, Jinko didn't decide to rip them off and claim they made their own version of a crankbait. I have not tried Berkeley downfill. This is very similar to the Lucky Craft LC DRS and DD models, which are very good baits. I think the Cloud 9s dive a little bit deeper, quicker. Those crushes are good baits. The crush actually didn't pull as hard as the Cloud, but yes, the next box will be the summer ledge fishing box. So, see what else we got in here. Got me some more of that shad scents in the C20. Really like these transparent light colors. See what else we got here. Now we're getting into the big guys. Now we're getting into the big guys. Now this is the Big Daddy. This is the C25. So this is made for deep fishing. And you are going to have a little bit beefier setup with this thing. So let me pull one of these out. This is a cool color right here. This sucker dives about 26 foot. You can get it to 30 feet, believe it or not. Yes, Tim, they do have a silent deep runner. And that's one thing I like about 6 cents. So this is the Big Daddy. This is the C25. This is the biggest, deepest crankbait they make. This thing weighs almost 2 ounces, almost 100 millimeters. If you're going to go after Jaints out deep, this is the one. It does pull hard. You're going to have to throw this on a 5-to-1 reel and use about a 7-11, probably heavy cranking rod. I've got the rod for it. C25, no, I would throw 10-pound fluorocarbon. I am not scared to lose a deep bait. The more heavier line you put on these big deep crankbaits, the less action they're going to have. 17-pound line, this bait might get down to 21 foot. So, really doing it a disservice. I throw 10-pound Sunline Sniper for the most part. You could troll with the C25 if you want to. It's an awesome long line of bait. You can get this thing down to 30 feet. I'm telling you, it will get down there. But the good thing is, for a big crankbait, they've got the big Mustad EWGs on here. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. Big split rings. This color is Gizzard Shad. So, good shad pattern there. And someone asked if they made a silent one, and I think I've got some in here. Of course, got Platinum Citrus here. These aren't the silent ones. Again, if you looked at my Strike King colors that I throw deep, then you would they would match up with what I got. What's up, Tony? Well, you would be surprised how many 2-3 pounders I've caught on a 10XD or something like this. You know, chartreuse, powder blue, gotta have in. All right, so here's one. This is the C25 silent version. Justin, I throw mostly on a 6-to-1 until I get to my big plugs like C20, C25, 10XD. I throw 5s because they will work you to death. So there's a shad sense, but if you'll notice, there's no rattles inside that bait. I'm right up to the microphone. That's oh shit, that's a hook in my hand. But there's no rattles inside this bait. So someone's going to ask, when would you throw a rattle? When do you not? After those fish have been out deep for a little bit and they've got pressure and they're not fully committing to a crankbait, you're catching a lot of fish, but they've only got like the back hook, they're jumping off, that's when I'm going to get really translucent and I'm going to get a silent crankbait. And if there is a crankbait bite to be had, they will munch that big time. So, but nobody has a silent deep diver that I know of other than 6 Cents. And that's why I got these C25s, because I've drilled holes in 10XDs and you can make them silent, but they run a little bit different. I love the 10XD. It's probably one of my all-time favorite crankbaits ever, but not silent. Now I've got a big deep crankbait to fill that place. I don't, Shady. I sure don't. I'll be honest with you guys, as I always am. I don't even really change the hooks out that much. And the reason I don't is because I hang up a lot of crankbaits, and I'm the world's worst about getting them hung where you can't even get it out with a lure retriever, so I just break them off. Heck yeah, Tony. That's awesome, man. What's up, Brett? Maybe I need to move Saturday Night Live back a little bit later, you know. Maybe we're talking about 8:30. Strike King does not make a silent 10XD, bud. But they do make a silent 6XD and a 5XD. Because every time Crispin Pally gets on my Facebook Live, people will harass him to death about getting a silent 10XD. And I can tell you, it's just not going to happen from Strike King. But I'm very glad 6 Cents got that silent big plug game locked down there. So, alright, that is all the crankbaits. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Casey, over there at 6 Cents. You are going to see the next Baitman Box come out here at the end of the month. I believe we're going to get, everybody's going to get one of each model cloud crankbait. Whether it's a C15, C20, C25, and a C10. And then we'll throw in some more stuff in there. Orange is not your color. Orange is my color, Black Dog Baits. I tried to call you today. Unfortunately, it was early in the morning. Oh, man. Just knocking all kinds of stuff over there. That's a good question. Let me get a 10XD out if I can find my big plug box. Look at here, we got 3 good big plugs. All these baits run like 20 foot deeper than I fish on the Potomac River. That's good. I heard they don't get out real deep there. So there's the Z-Boss 25. That's a good one. Really like the big Z-Boss. So here's a 10XD. I just happen to have a C25 in here. So here's a 10XD from Strike King. And there's the C25 from 6 Cents. So really the size difference in those two, not a whole lot. Let's look at the bills. 6 Cents got more angle in the bill as far as going out to the side than the 10XD. But the bodies are very similar. Very similar width and length. Now we'll look at the Z-Boss 25, and this is a badass crankbait right here, but has totally different action. There's a time and a place for this. Obviously, the lip on the Z-Boss is way bigger. If you'll note, it's also way thinner out here, and it kind of curves upward. There's a reason for that. It makes this bait dive straight down. The Z-Boss is narrower. It's a lot flatter up here, which causes a total different action. But that's a whole nother show in together. And one I plan on doing very soon is just a deep cranking guide. Man, I'm getting low on 10XDs. Unfortunately, these won't fit in my Mafia big cranking box, so I had to put them in that double deep. Z-Boss 25. The best Z-Boss I like is a Z-Boss 22. That's my favorite. It's a perfect combination. Gets down deep and doesn't pull hard at all. Great action. I do need some Huddlestons. Man. I don't own one. I used to have some of those Hud Shads. You should compare to cheap Amazon baits. Yeah, I'm not Yak Pack Outdoors or Lojo Fishing. I'll leave all the comparing fishing challenges stuff up to those guys. I personally, if I'm going to spend money on stuff, I try to buy stuff that I'm going to fish with and works. But if you're buying stuff from Amazon and Alibaba.com, chances are it's just junk. But if you're interested in that, you can go to jinkofishing.com. I don't really have that much gear, man. It's just this camera's, it makes it look there. I'll be willing to bet there's like, I would be willing to bet the average tournament fisherman on Kentucky Lake has way more tackle than I do. Just because I've seen how much some of these guys spend, and it's ridiculous. I try not to buy that much stuff, and yeah, a lot of it I still have because I haven't gone that much. But I'm telling you, I've reined guys out in the past, and $300 is 6XDs. That's way more than I got. You know, guys buying like 10 packs of Cincos at a time. I'm like, bro, you better be catching like 80 a day. So the C25 is great for fishing 25 plus foot of water. You're definitely going to hit bottom in 20. And here's the deal with deep crankbaits. If you're not hitting the bottom, you need to go up in size. I would rather over crank, which means I would rather throw a deeper diver bait in water that's a little bit shallow than throw one that doesn't hit the bottom at all. What do you throw your 6 cents wake baits online wise? Rod power. I've seen a foul up mine a lot. Just a 7-1. Medium heavy, a moderate action rod. Basically what I'd throw my square bill, or you can throw it on your topwater rod. That's right. I mean, I've seen what guys spend. They have way more tackle than I do. I've got a decent selection, but I don't go crazy. I try to only buy what I'm going to use. Of course, people send me all kinds of stuff, and it just gets piles of it. I mean, I've got a huge thing of stuff just from Lucky Tackle Box. James, I actually do like throwing a crankbait, grinding it on the bottom. We do a lot of cranking here on shell bads on Kentucky Lake, and one of the big things there is, hello? Black Dog Baits is actually calling me. What's up, man?
Man, you gotta get rid of that shirt. Burn it.
He wants me to burn this orange shirt. I can't do that, man. I'm a Vol fan until I die.
Well, I mean, I like Yamaha. Orange, man. It's burning my eyes.
Well, I can't do nothing about that. Well, hey, man, let's chat after the stream, okay?
Alright, sounds
See you,
good.
bud.
Love everything you do, man.
Thanks,
Best of luck.
thanks, dude. Hey, I haven't had a subscriber call in before, so that's awesome. That was Black Dog Baits. He makes some awesome stuff. We're going to chat after the show. So I'm not going to get rid of, the orange. That's me. That's going to happen. Let's see. What's the latest on the 6 cents frog, James? I think it's going to be here this summer. It's going to be here this summer. Do you like throwing a 5-inch or 6-inch swim bait to an alternative if they aren't on a deep cranking bite? Yes. I gotta shut my door. Oh, I had to shut the door. There's like people outside walking, and they're probably like, "What the hell is this crazy son bitch doing up on it in his bait room?" So, Epic Eric is awesome, William. He is a really good guy, and he actually sent me a message on Instagram the day he followed me, talking about how he used to watch the show Classic Patterns and big fan and recognized me. Dude, I want to go hang out with him. What's my top 3 frogs? A Spro, a Jackal Gavacho, and a Depth Slither K. That's my 3 favorite frogs. That's right, Tim. I am a VFL. Unfortunately, Evolve for Life doesn't mean have the most fun for life, because it has been a rough 10 years. Had a couple good seasons there, but we're gonna get back. You know what? I'll probably put a dip in for Coach Pruitt right now. Coach Skull, I hope you're watching this. Thoughts on Lucky Tackle Box? I used to work with Lucky Tackle Box, and I can't say anything bad about them, but I noticed their boxes got weak, and unfortunately, that stinks. I'll say this, there's some stuff in the MTB stuff I don't care for, but for the most part, they're pretty strong. I like most of the stuff in the mystery tackle box. Booyah Pad Crasher is a good one. And I would honestly say the Booyah Pad Crasher is probably the best for the money. Not a fan of the Spro Frogs. Let's see. Do you stroke a jig on ledges? Yes, I do. Alright, Bufunga. Go-to knot. I will tell you what. I will show you guys my go-to knot. Let me grab some line here. Everybody always asks what my go-to knot is. So I'll go ahead and show you that don't know. 6 cents monthly box is awesome. And hopefully you can get the bi-monthly box, the Baitman Box, from 6 cents as well. I think the Monster Bass box is going to be a good deal. The only thing I will say, and I don't mean this negative, is I want to see it differentiate between LTB and MTB. I know they're advertising more and better stuff, but some of the screenshots I've seen, it looks like the same stuff. Now, if you're getting full value packs, where instead of getting a sample pack of Rage Crawls, you get a full pack, dude, that's awesome. And I think, knowing Ben and Alex, they wouldn't attach their name to anything that's kind of iffy. They're good dudes. But this is the one I use, this hook, this knot, San Diego Jam knot. So I use this on 99% of stuff. First thing, put it through the eye of the jig or whatever. All right. Make it dangle, a little dangle here. Go over your thumb, and then take this end, the tag end, go over your thumb. All right. You grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grab your bait. All right, you want to go through this bottom loop. You've made this loop down here. Go through the bottom. And then bring it back up. You want to go through the top loop. The most important part here is this is what your knot's going to look like. Wet it. And pull tight. And then all you got to do is clip the tag end off. I don't know how well you can see that knot, but it is cinched down very, very well. I use that with braid, fluorocarbon, everything. Sorry, I had to go wrangle a kid real quick. Hey, no problem, man. I really like that knot. So let me answer a few questions. That is the San Diego Jam knot. What about later connection knot? The Shin Fuquay knot is crazy good. I just use an RP knot. I'm not very good at it either. Favorite flipping jig? Man, I'm gonna be honest. That Beast Coast flipping jig is dang good. If I was gonna go old school, I just had one laying up here. The Ultimate Rattling Jig is my all-time favorite flipping jig. I like the Dirty Jig Scott Canterbury flipping jig as well. So that jig is the same color as my fingernail. Let's see here. Zona had a show this morning. He used Strike King Pad Perch and Green Pumpkin Gill. Yeah, it is definitely sold out. Live Target makes a great frog, by the way. I don't like the sunfish very well, but I do love their normal frog. I have not had to tune the bells on my 6 cents cranks. If I'm going to use braid, what pound fluorocarbon leader? It really just depends on what you're using. Like if I'm flipping bushes, I would use 65-pound braid and a minimum of 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. If I'm fishing a worm out deep, I'd probably use 50-pound braid and like a 12 or 14-pound fluorocarbon. I have not used the modified San Diego Jam knot. I would like to see that. Triton or Ranger, twist, don't say vex. I would have a Triton all day, twice on Sundays. Very fond of the Triton 21 Pro Elite. That's a really good riding boat. Caught a lot of Jaints and that. I will try it, Mason. Looky here. Dustin Taylor got second big bass today. Now I get my Baitman fix. Dustin is a hammer up there in Illinois. Where are you fishing? Clinton? I need to get up there and come fishing with you, Dustin. You're a shallow water guy, and I need to tighten up my jig game. Can you do a show on JDM bladed jigs since they don't follow Z-Man patent? I would love to do that, James. Let's see what we got over there. We got a Depths bladed jig. You got an Amakatsu bladed jig. Of course, the original jackhammer. There's some a Mega Bass has a bladed jig. I would love to do that. Post spawn largemouth bass hanging out on the edge of stalk grass. Not sure the proper name. What are you throwing? Swim bait, a weedless swim bait, a deep swim jig like a 6 cents swim jig, little bluegill color, or I'm gonna swim a worm. Believe it or not, a big 10-inch worm. You ever tried hollow braid with a floral leader to eliminate the knot? Hollow braid? No, I have not. Yeah, the OG jackhammers from Japan that say Mondo on there. There's really nothing different, but oh, that's the wattle bait. Looky here. This is a cool bait. I'm glad you brought that up, W. Daniels. This is a Amakatsu wattle bait. These are really hard to find. This one was like $23. So this is like one of the craziest crankbaits you'll ever throw. You see it's got a little blade on the back, and what that does, it purposely throws this bait out of whack. So it'll be real tight water, all of a sudden it'll go woof, woof, and then it come back and it just swings way out to the side. Kind of getting hard to find, but you can find these on some JDM tackle websites. But I really like that bait. That is a killer in the fall. Actually, really good on schooling fish too. Let's see. Do you know when the 6 cent sensory will be out? Yes, I do, Andrew. Probably look into right after iCast. I do use a D-bomb on my jig quite a bit, actually. That's probably one of my favorite soft plastics to flip. Different jig trailers for cold water versus hot water. Yes, cold water, I want stuff that doesn't have a lot of action. Warm water, I want some kick and crawls, your rage crawls, your pack across, stuff like that. Cold water, I'm going to go with, stuff like a super chunk or a salty pro chunk or like that Maxent chunk that they don't flap a whole lot. They're just really soft and kind of flutter. Whereas when it's warmer water, I want some more aggressive action as a trailer. Express does make a really good aluminum boat. I've even fished out of it, X21. They're good boats. Really good. Now, of course, if I had the right amount of money, I'd just buy a Vex's 2080. That's probably my favorite boat. When to throw a scrounger over a deep diver. You got to let the fish tell you. Now, I agree with what Brent Anderson said on the webcast the other night. They'll eat that big crankbait, but they'll also, man, I've seen times when those fish are fired up and you throw a big plug in there and they stop. That's when I throw a scrounger. When those fish are kind of skittish, a lot of guys are throwing crankbaits, I'll start with something a lot more subtle like a scrounger or a big swim bait. And I will say a negative to throwing a big crankbait is if they're really fired up. Sometimes when you catch a fish, it brings the whole school to the boat and it gets hard again. And you kind of got to back way off. So one way I approach that is I start fishing way off the school and fish my way in. A lot of people will put their waypoint right on the school and make a big cast and run right down the middle of it. I like to start 50 to 60 yards off the school and try to pick those fish off on the edges. A lot of times those are your bigger fish too. And once you can pick some of those fish off, those fish in the middle of school that are right where your waypoint is, they're not as spooky. They haven't had baits come flying through them yet, and they'll still bite. So keep that in mind. That's going to make for a great ledge fishing video if our bass ever get on the ledges. What is my favorite finesse bait for ledge fishing? That would be a Zoom Magnum Trick Worm Nico rig. That is hammered them, but the Ned rig's coming on strong. I take me a plum or California 420. That's my two favorite colors in that mag trick worm. Nico rig it. Man, I've caught a lot of fish on that. A lot of fish. A little bit bigger bait. Drop shot, obviously robo worms, very good out deep. I mean, I'm a fiberglass guy, but that Vex's 2080 really showed me that somebody can make a great aluminum boat for bass fishing, and Express makes a good one. I'm not lying at all. I'm not laughing at all, Sean. If I wish I could master that thing, because the way I take it, it's almost like a hard Cinco out there. I could be wrong, but very finesse approach, very subtle, and I guarantee you're catching some fish that other guys have thrown stuff at that they can't get to bite. That's right, Bobby. A lot of flipping jigs are the same. A lot of companies out there making the same kind of stuff, and that's okay. That's why I don't get too torn up on jigs and people that copy and make the same style, because I mean, there's only so many ways you can make a jig, really. When you look at the TVA on Kentucky Lake, when they say lower level, do they mean down by Paris, New Johnsonville? Actually, the lower level is the north end, because our water, the current flows south to north. So when they say lower level, they mean the north end of the lake. The upper end of Kentucky Lake is actually the reverse, which is Paris, New Johnsonville. That's how I interpret it always. And like below Kentucky Dam is the river system itself. Good rod for a Whopper Plopper 130. Man, take your pick. Anything 7. I like a longer rod on those big top waters like that. Like a 7.3 medium heavy. It's a really good rod for a big Whopper Plopper. You got some backbone. You got some tip to cast it out there. Use 65-pound braid. Don't use fluorocarbon on top water. Speaking of Kentucky Lake, our lake is really hurting. I've talked about it. It's got a lot of factors here. It's not just the carp. Fishing pressure, bad spawns. Man, there's big tournaments every week out here. I really wish we could get a break. We're gonna have a really good, probably one of the biggest acts of conservation you've seen to bring it back to what it was. I think it'll come back. It's not doom and gloom. There's still good days to have out there. Harlan's always catching them except tournament days, man. He's a good kid, though. He needs to start sticking those fish during the tournaments. We run a lot of skinny water and fiberglass, and props don't mix well with that. No, it does not. Well, guys, I'm about to jump off here. It's been a really good night here on the YouTubes, and I appreciate everybody joining in and watching as always. Next week, we're just going to talk deep cranking, I think, or deep swim baits, one of the two. And we'll see what we got going on here. Maybe we'll run a giveaway or something like that. Yes, bring some of them North Carolina Jaints and help this thing out. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Since I live on the Great Lakes up here in Michigan, fiberglass isn't a great option for my waters because there's so little boat in the water. That's true. So, guys, thank you so much again for joining Saturday Night Live. Again, support those companies if you can. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If not, no big deal again. Make sure you follow me on social media. Don't be a stranger. Send me pictures of any big fish you've caught. And I'm going to start showing them up on the screen here. And let me know what bait you caught them on. So, I do fish the Tennessee River below Kentucky Dam. I don't get down there a whole lot, but I do like it. So, hey, thank you so much, Joe. Guys, I enjoy it. Don't have anything too much else to add. But going to have some great streams coming up this summer. My favorite time of the year to fish. I'm probably going to have to go down to Pickwick, maybe even Gunnersville to do a little filming. Going to get out there and fish some new bodies of water. And as always, the guys that are always on here, appreciate you joining again. Thanks, Sean Z and all those guys. And look for some more videos. Got to sit down and do some more top baits and best baits and how-tos. And it's going to be a fun summer. Thank you guys so much. Thanks again to 6 Cents, Beast Coast Fishing, Bass Mafia, Hog Farmer, MTB, Angler, all those guys. Make sure you download that Angler app. I know you guys will like it. So, thanks so much. You guys have a wonderful evening.